So let's change subject, and before talking about the main product launches and going by the many comments regarding a special Nixie tube timepiece you've seen on the mantelpiece of Mr. Orbach, that's the watch auctioneer and great storyteller of Philips, well, I just wanted to tell that we will come back on this original objects very shortly since it seems to stir quite a lot of interest by you guys. So let's now talk about some new watches, and we will start with Richard Mille, as the brand has used once again the start of the French Tennis Open to unveil the new Rafa Nadal RM27, the -03. With previous versions of this extreme tourbillon watch, the emphasis had been placed on its ultra-lightweight characteristic. The second iteration, the RM27-01, weighing slightly less than 20 grams, strap included, and that will be a record hard to beat, I think. So for this new version, Richard Mille doesn't really talk about the weight, but have instead focused on its shock resistance properties, as it can resist shocks up to 10,000 Gs. Yeah, well, that's quite crazy. Well, you can actually feel this sturdiness by looking at its construction, with, for instance, the fact that the case and base plate are now one, like a monoblock construction, which is made out of carbon TPT, and it is a machining achievement in itself, a rather clever one, and yet another parallel to ultra-performance sports cars. So the titanium bridges have also been developed in that direction, on top of presenting some kind of bullhead figure reminding of the Spanish origins of Rafael Nadal, something made even more obvious with the color used on the quartz TPT of the bezel and back case cover, with these yellow and red colors. So this audacious tourbillon will again be limited to 50 timepieces, and again its price is rather flamboyant, as it is set at $750,000. I know, quite crazy, but that's the price to be part of a very small and special club of individuals around the planet. Talking about some other exceptional timepieces, or should I say timepiece, MB&F has just presented an incredible and spectacular version of the HM6. This is the all-sapphire HM6 Alien Nation, limited to 4 pieces, and they are all unique. You have a blue, a light blue, a green and purple version, that's the color of the gasket, and in each one of them you will find 6 minute engraved aliens that look like they are kind of working and participating at the movement's good functioning. And you have to realize that each alien requires 34 hours of work by a very skilled and patient craftsman. And regarding the sapphire case, well, it's made up of 12 different blocks, requiring a total of 510 hours of machining. So quite a lot of work put into this incredible machine, I should say. Not even timepiece, it's a machine. As a reminder, the HM6 was first introduced in 2014, and this flying tourbillon movement was from the start limited to 100 movements, split into 50 titanium versions, 18 pink gold versions, 20 SVs, also in a sapphire case, coming in 2 versions, and these 4 unique Alien Nation versions, so another 8 movements are still available for probably another quite crazy final version. And just to mention that the price of this Alien Nation version is set around the $500,000 mark, and even though it's been introduced only yesterday, well, they've already all been sold. So how crazy is that? And again, quite a demonstration of the hotness and the appeal of the brand. So let's continue with product launches, and Girard-Perregaux reintroduced the Laureato this year, a collection first launched in the 70s, but which had unfortunately been put on pause for a few years. Well, you guys know I quite like this watch. This is an early 2000 titanium model I bought at the time. The Evo 3 and GP are really placing a lot of hope on redevelopment of the brand, in terms of business, I mean, on this, well, new collection seen at the SIJ this year. You had pretty simple models at some quite decent prices, I think, but now GP has just launched a skeletonized version coming in a steel or rose gold case. Personally, I think that both of these versions look really good, but the price for me seems a bit high, $32,000 in steel and $60,000 in gold. Okay, you had the new in-house GP 1800 caliber with its variable inertia balance. It's finely hand decorated, but still. So in a much more affordable territory, let's very quickly talk about another skeleton watch, as Quorum have introduced a colorful open work version of its bubble watch. It comes in 3 colors, green, blue and purple, in its 47mm steel case, and features the caliber 39 manufactured by Eterna, the sister company, beating at 4 Hz and costs approximately $6,500. Okay, so it's quite something different, but still. And finally, just wanted to come back on a new original wall clock made in collaboration between Fiona Kruger, that's the brand behind some very cool skull-like wristwatches, and L'Epée, the clock manufacturer we've seen on the Watches TV with some previous collaboration with MB&F. There we go again. So this wall clock comes in two versions, a black and white, as well as a very colorful version inspired by Mexican style. And one of the originality is that the power reserve indicator consists of the mouth opening as it uses its energy. Okay, you have 35 days of power reserve, so it won't just yawn on you. Just like that, it's limited to 50 pieces for each version and comes at a price of approximately $30,000. A very cool object, I have to say.